Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today is Tuesday the 18th of April and this is Flosstube number 31. I want to say welcome back to all of my returning viewers and subscribers. And if you're new here, then I hope you like what you see and you stick around for more stitchy content. I've got a few things to sort out at the beginning of the video. I'm hoping the lighting is okay. I'm filming this in the evening. It's about 20 to 8 right now. So yeah, I sort of said in my last video that maybe the lighting would be good enough for me to film in the evening, because the weekend just gone was a total no-no in terms of getting a video done. But I didn't want to leave it 3 weeks again. So let me know what you think of the lighting. I would say it's not sunny outside, like it's overcast and the sun is probably going down now anyway. Yeah, just I've got like a little light in front of me that I don't actually think I've showed you this. I bought this light off of Amazon. If I just switch it off for a second. It's like a desk sort of light. I'll link it down below. I bought it for my desk in my craft room, so that I had like a light to use. I can get it back on again. When I was working in here, but also so I could take it on retreats and have something that I could use just that was easily portable at a retreat, because I have taken my big daylight light before, and it's fine. You can sort of like dismantle it, but it's not difficult to get back up again, but it took a little bit of time, and I figured something like this was perfect. You can have different light settings on it, so it goes all the way to brilliant cool white, and it has a yellow light as well. You can switch the brightness up and down, and it was really inexpensive. I think it was something like £20 or £25. Again, I will link it in the description box down below. But it's perfect, absolutely perfect for portable, for portable purposes. You can plug a USB cable into it as well, so you can charge your phone off of it or your tablet, which I also think is another really good bonus. So anyway, I didn't mean to kind of anyway, so yeah, let me know what you think of the lighting. I had a few things that I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the video. I said, and I've said this a few times, that I always forget to say things in when I get to the end of the video, and sort of an hour afterwards or a day afterwards I think, should have said that. So I made myself a little list this time that I could add to as I was going along. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that I've started adding printed patterns into my Etsy shop. So I think I've done about half of them so far. So if you're somebody who doesn't stitch from an app like Pattern Keeper or Markup RXP, then and you stitch from paper patterns, then I will be adding all of them over the next few weeks. So if there's one in particular that you're desperate to have a printed copy of, then message me and let me know and I will add it immediately. But yeah, you should in the next few weeks be able to find all of my patterns as printed patterns that I will send to you basically. So I wanted to mention that. The next one I'll mention as part of my whips. I wanted to say thank you to Nicola, who bought me a coffee. I do have a Ko-fi link down below. I don't mention it that often, but if you want to support my channel, then that's one way that you can do that. So thank you very much, Nicola. I really, really appreciate it. That will go towards buying some DMC or some fabric, something like that. So yeah, I can kit up some more of my patterns or whatever the case may be. Thank you. And then the other thing I wanted to do is do the drawing for the Quick Stitch Blue Butterfly pattern and thread drops. If I just get out my box, if I get out the thread drops, there we go. So on my last video, I was doing a giveaway of a digital pattern of Quick Stitch Blue Butterfly by Ching Chow Hewick, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I will be racking that pattern to whoever wins, as well as sending them the floss drops that I used to stitch it, and these will be loaded, if they aren't already, with what you need for the pattern. You should be able to stitch it just from these. It doesn't require a huge amount of thread. So I'm using a slightly different website today to do my comment picker, just because the one that I usually use have got like a premium upgrade that you can do, and you can't filter the comments by a keyword unless you've got premium access. So yeah, so I'm using a slightly different one. So I've put in the URL of my last video and put in the word butterfly, and it says that there are 69 comments with the word butterfly in. So I'm going to go pick a winner, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. This is somebody called Barbara Bryce. So she says, love seeing your two FFOs, the butterfly and fruits of plenty, both look so impressive and beautiful in those white frames. Great choice. Thank you for all your videos. I've worked through them all, I'm now up to date. Looking forward to the next one. Have a great Easter holiday, long weekend. So yeah, congratulations, Barbara. If you could get in touch with me, you can message me on Instagram or you can email me. I'll leave both of those in the description box down below. Just with your mailing address and with your email address to send the pattern to, and I will get that all sorted out for you. So yeah, that's really exciting. So we have got a few whips to go through, including some new starts. And actually, my friend Becky has been messaging me tonight saying, how many new things have you started this month? But there are reasons for all of them, of course. And yes, I've worked on some existing whips, and then a little bit of haul. So let's just dive in, right? I'm not going to do this in any particular order, I don't think. I'm just going to grab from my pile. Right, so this is the first one. This is a new start. Let me just open my pattern keeper so that I know where I'm at. So I started Little Ocean by Morgana Fantasy AI. Sorry, my printer's doing something. Charted by me. So this is a pattern in my Etsy shop right now, and this is for the Little Ones SAL. So I put that hashtag across the screen, and I'll leave details of any SALs in the description box below as well. Yeah, so I started with this one for that particular SAL, and I'm stitching this as always on 25 count Lugana, and it's with all the required threads, and I stitched 1206 stitches for 0.60%. So I think I'll just switch that off because let's blow it out. Yeah, that's better. It's a bit it's not as bright in here now, but you can see this better. So yeah, this is where we're up to. So I started in the top left hand corner like I normally do. What you can see up here is the start of a bit of her hair, and then this is a leaf from the sort of garland that she's got in her hair. And I was really impressed with the detail that came out on this. So it's not super confetti heavy, and there are 99 colours in most of my patterns. And there was a little bit of confetti, but there was quite a lot of block stitching. So I think this was 3 days that I worked on this for, and it was really, really enjoyable. So yeah, that's that one. And I'm also using licensed floss drops for these. So you can buy in my Etsy shop licensed floss drops with any of the artwork from the patterns that I chart, apart from the bears the bears and the eyes from Louise McNaught, so they don't really translate well to accessories. But yeah, I'm using those, and this is the sort of colour palette before so far. So there's lots of browns and greens. but it's really enjoyable. So if you want to join us, then we'd love to have you along. It's to stitch any one of the little patterns by this particular artist that are in my shop, and you can join in at any time and use that hashtag on Instagram. Where should I put these? Put them under here. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of that. No, so that just in case that disappears, I've got it. There we go. Okay. Grab it. The next one that I worked on is Hello Sunshine, and this is by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So I started this for Mania last year. In fact, I started it on my birthday. It was a birthday start. It's coming up for its 1 year birthday. And I own 2 of the trees, this one and Hello Pumpkin. I do want to do all 4 of them, but I want to finish one tree first. I'm just stitching this on 14 count white Ada. And this is where we have got to. Oh yeah, the lighting is better for showing fabric and stitching without the light on. So basically what I did this time was like most of this quarter of the tree. So this flower was missing the little sort of buddy bit at the top. Then you came up and did these leaves, this star, this butterfly, and then these little bits down here. So there's not much left of this to go. I would say this is definitely at 75% because of all of this down here as well. It's way past that now, really. So all I've got left to do is, like, the big things are a dragonfly and a toucan, and then the other leaves that you've got there. So I think this is maybe 1, definitely 2, only 2 more stitching sessions, but maybe 1. And I just love the colours in this. And I love how clever she is with designing things with no back stitch in. I don't know if that applies to all of her patterns that she designs, but yeah, it's really colourful, really vibrant, and so easy to stitch. So that's that one. And I sort of thought that I might put them in interchangeable frames when I'm finished. So my husband sort of had the idea to display all 4 seasons at once, but I don't think that makes an awful lot of sense. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but we'll see. Okay, so this one, I did an unboxing for this kit on my Instagram, and also I did it as a YouTube short. Yeah, just because this is, well, let me show you. I've still got it on the Q-snap. So this is the Florence the Owl kit from The World in Stitches, and I've wanted one of her kits for a while. She is a UK cross-stitch designer, and actually she's based in Southend, which isn't a million miles away from me, you know, 45 minutes in the car. And what's nice about her website as well is that she does, well, there's a couple of nice things. One is that she has this section that she calls kits for beginners. And this isn't one of them, but they're sort of £10 kits, and they're all sort of like really simple designs for beginners at a decent price. And you get everything in there that you need. You can add the hoop on for an additional price if you want to. I didn't do that. But what's also lovely is that she does free UK delivery. So you don't have to spend a minimum amount, which is really good as well. So I bought Florence the Owl just because I thought she is super fun. Love the colours. Yeah, and I'm sort of in the middle of a stitch here, which I didn't really realise that I put this down like it. But it comes with all of the stuff that you need. So it's a 14 count Ada, yeah, and then you get the DMC threads on this card, and they're pre-cut as well into decent lengths if you want to do the loop start method. And you've also got sort of like spots across, which I've used for like little bits that are left over. But she does explain on the website that she gives you 30% more thread than what you need. So just in case you have to frog and things like that, or you're a looser stitcher, I don't really know. But yeah, it's really good. That's really good, especially if you're a beginner as well. But look at the colour palette. It's just so lovely. It came with 2 needles too, which I didn't show in my unboxing. And it also came with, so she put a little note in there to say thank you. It came with sort of like a free alphabet sort of card. And then there's this sort of instruction sheet that you get with it for how to do things. Which it's on really lovely paper, and it's just, yeah, lovely kit. So this is where we've got to so far. I think this is about 18%, because it is, oh, the other thing I was going to say is that I messaged her on Instagram and I said, oh, you know, I've just bought this kit, I've just received it. Is there any way that you could send me a PDF copy of the pattern so that I can, because I like to stitch from a screen basically. And she responded straight away and said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'll send it to the email address that you bought the kit from, unless you want me to send it elsewhere. And one of the copies of the digital pattern was compatible with Pattern Keeper. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is about 18%. So I just started in the middle and started, obviously, with her eyes. I'm going to show this. Yeah. So really, really lovely to stitch. It's great colour stitching. It's great block stitching. Yeah. So, and then I've got a cap needle minder on there as well. I won that in a giveaway from Kel Stitches, from Kelly from Kel Stitches. She makes her own needle minders. So yeah, that's where we got to on that one. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. I should have made myself a drink before I came in here. Oh well. Okay, this is another new start. This is new start number 3. I started a kit with Debbie, who's somebody that I'm friends with on Instagram. And I think her Instagram is Debbie's Paper and Thread. I will put it on the screen here. And she bought a Riolis kit of Hedgehogs at a very similar time to when I bought my one last year, and said, oh, do you want to stitch it together? And again, this was last year. And I sort of had a bit of a hankering to start a kit. I think because I'd been watching lots of whip parades with kits in. That's it. So Laura or Lara, there's a way that you pronounce it and I don't, because she's from Finland and I can't remember how she said it. She started a new channel called I Stitch Birds, and I'll leave it linked down below. She started with a whip parade and then she's been doing like a stash dive of her kits, and it's brilliant. She stitches mostly kits. She loves Riolis, but she does stitch from other brands as well, and that gave me a bit of a hankering to start a kit. So yeah, I started Hedgehogs in Lingonberries by Riolis. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. I've never stitched a Riolis kit before. It came with, is it 14 count? Yeah, 14 count white Ada from Zweigart. The pattern, which is like a colour pattern. And it came with all the threads, and these are wool acrylic threads. Now I know these are not everyone's cup of tea, and I was a bit apprehensive about using them to begin with, because you don't split apart the thread, you just use it as it comes off of the card. And you can see, I don't know whether you will be able to, maybe if I put the light on, can you see the fluffiness of this here? Yeah, I think you sort of can. So I was a bit apprehensive about using it because I didn't want that fluffiness. Just keep that on for a second. to come off all over my stitching and sort of the colours to meld a little bit or whatever. But I have to say, I've been very impressed with how those threads have been working. And I think on this 14 count Ada, they've got really good coverage. My stitches look really plump. So again, I started in the middle. And this is, let me just turn that off again. This is where we're up to. So let's just put this behind so you can see. So this is the mushroom, basically. Yeah, I'm showing both of these. Yeah, you can see the little mushroom that the other hedgehog is standing on. That's the beginnings of that. So lots of colour changes, but some block stitching in there. What was really enjoyable, and I think what made it easier was, let's just put these in here, was the fact that this is a colour pattern. So although the colours don't match up to the colours on the chart, it makes it easier because you can see exactly whereabouts they are. So I've been really impressed with that Riolis kit so far. I can't remember whether I own any other ones. Is the Japanese one a Riolis kit? The Sakura. I think that might be a Riolis kit. But I'd definitely be tempted to get more, just based on my experience with that one. So it did come with the needle as well. So we, I didn't mention the hashtag. We started it as a stitch along together. So we're using the hashtag out of hibernation SAL. So we're basically encouraging you to stitch a pattern of any animal that hibernates during winter. So yeah, if you want to join us, if you're currently stitching one or you've got one in your stash that you'd like to start, please do. I'm going to keep putting that on and off just because the sun is really going down now. Oh. Okay, let's go for a whip this time. I think I showed this to you in the last video because I was working on it at the time, but I've since finished that section. I think I was halfway through. Anyway, I'll just show it to you now. So this is Baby Boots by Vervico. This is another kit. This is the birth sampler that I'm doing for my daughter. And this is stitched with all the kit fabric. So it's a 16 count or an 18 count cream Ada. I can't remember. I feel like I have this conversation every time. Let's just put this behind. So this is where we've got up to. I've just to keep playing around with that light. So there you go. So I think I showed you that I'd stitched this shadowing under here, and then I'd done a bit of it up here. So basically went in and finished the laces on that second booty. So I've just got the rest of the booty to do. So this is one more rotation basically, and this will be finished. I've obviously got to put some personal details on here, but I just love the way it's turning out. It's so pretty. Someone I know called Sue has stitched this on Instagram, and I can't wait to see her picture of it. So yeah, that's that one. Put that back in there. Okay, the last new start that I'll show you is this one. This is called the Shire Painting, and it's by Thread of Magic on Etsy. And I started this one for another stitch along, which I can't remember the hashtag for now, but I'll leave it in the description box below. A few ladies on Instagram started this, and we love Lord of the Rings in this house, so I decided that I was going to start it too. And this, yeah, again, 25 count, easy count, and we did, see where this is at, I did 1,054 stitches, and this is at 1.01%. So there we go. That's the start of it. This first block of it especially was like really confetti heavy. But yeah, that we're just up in the trees at the moment. But it's so enjoyable. I just love watching full coverage come to life. There's just something about it that really appeals to me. Yeah. So yeah, and I just sort of made floss drops out of the picture of the pattern. So these are the colours so far. I've got some blues and some greens in there. Yeah. So that is that one. Put that back in there. Okay, two more to show you. One I'm currently working on, so I will work on this again this evening after I've edited this video. I haven't got this out in a while actually. This is Supersize Santa's Workshop Max Colour. This is artwork by Thomas Kincaid, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I started this I think last year in December maybe. And I do have a group on Facebook for this particular chart, or a version of this chart. So if you're stitching it or you're interested in stitching it, then I will leave it linked down below. You can join that. Post updates every so often. So the way that I'm doing this one is I'm stitching the first 10 by 10 block all the way across and around, and then I'm going to fill in from there. Not exclusively, because I do a bit of cross country, so you can see here it's feathered out, because I don't like lines in my stitching, and I'm not that kind of stitcher anyway. And you can see here that I was in the middle of a thread last night and had to put this down because I was so tired. But this is where we've got to. I'm just starting to get into some lighter colours here, and this is the start of a little shelf up the top of the picture, and we're going to start getting a red toy up here. So we're going to, yeah, really see some nice colour. Maybe if I put the light on for this, you'll be able to see the colours a bit more. Yeah, it's really, yeah, no. So yeah, that's where we've got to. At the moment, where are we? I haven't finished my rotation of this. I'll finish it tonight. I'm at 0.45%. So I want to do another sort of like 300 stitches tonight. We'll see how we go. I might need to also do that tomorrow. We'll see. What I like to do with my full coverage is 1,000 stitches at a time. Like for my a stitching shelf is different, but for my other full coverage, if it's in my rotation, I'm going to do 1,000 stitches, and it depends on the day as to how many stitches I can get done. So sometimes I will get 100 or 200. Sometimes I can get 300 or 400. It just depends on the day, if I'm working, how tired I am, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is going to be stitched on again later this evening. Okay. And then the last one is, of course, my 100 stitches a day project. My big, well, that was a big project, but this is Supersizer Stitching Shelf Max Colours. Artwork by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I wasn't saying about putting a picture up on the screen. Maybe I've done that for Santa's Workshop. I'll do it for this one here. I suppose the rest of them I just started, so I wouldn't say that. I've done my 100 stitches today when I got home from work. So we're now at 4.29% on this one, and I passed the 4% mark. I can't remember whether I'd done that before, and I also passed the 30,000 stitches mark. So this is where we're up to. So I'm working on this 4th page. So I think last time I showed it to you, this butterfly hadn't appeared yet, or maybe it just appeared. So that came in. I finished a lot of the bottom of the key. The bottom of the door is just about finished. And then we've got lots of sort of like greenery and pink flowers and a couple of balloons or lanterns or something like that anyway that are coming in down here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing my monogamous May on this. I think it would just be great to have one focus. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's that one. Okay, we are losing the lights. So now that I've showed you all of my wicks, put this back in here, throw that down there. I'm going to go through my haul, put my light back on, and then yeah, you'll be able to see a little bit more now. I'll switch that off. So I didn't get that much this month. Let's pull these out. Yeah, there's not a lot in here, she says. A couple of things on D-Stash. So the first of those, see, I'm playing about with the light all video long. This is like a piece of peach Ada that I bought from a D-Stash thing on Facebook. So I thought I would use that for some smalls. We need the light now. I saw Laura from My Stitch Birds stitching this kit and found it on eBay for a decent price. So I got it. This is another Riolis kit, but it's a Riolis premium kit, which I didn't know was a thing. And it's of the painting the girl with a pearl earring. And I just loved the detail. It's on black Ada. So does it say, yeah, 14 count black Ada, stranded cotton. So it doesn't say wool acrylic for this one, it's slightly different. But yeah, you can see some of the detail in her face. And how stunning is that going to be? This is a new kit, it's never been opened. You can sort of see that it's all sealed. Well, I'll put that down a little bit. It's all sealed and in the packet, so yeah, really pleased with that. Then I got another kit that I had not pre-ordered, that's the wrong word. I'd ordered from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabric. She offered to kit up Nightingale by Mirabilia, and I loved this pattern when it came out. I love the idea behind it. So she was offering kits of this. The only thing that's missing from the kit is the DMC. So I do need to watch out for a sale for DMC and get those. But yeah, she's beautiful. So it came with, you had two options. You could sort of do like a greeny fabric like on here, or a browny pinky fabric. So I went with the browny pinky. And yeah, here we go. This is the sort of colour that we've got. So I think she'll look really lovely on that. And then it came with the water lily that you would need. So this is called Ink. 2 lots of Krynic. These are the first Krynic that I own. And the bead pack. These are all of the beads that you need. So like I say, I just need the DMC, and although I have my master set for things like this, I like stitching from fresh DMC just so that I have absolutely no issues with dye lot. It's different in full coverage because I personally think that if there's a different dye lot, you're not going to be able to see it. And the dye lots on DMC, they can't be that different. You know, they might drastically change a colour, but they give you advance warning of that. So yeah, but for stuff like this, I need it to be, you know, a dye lot change would be so visible. So I got that. So that needs to go, it's not going to go in my kit drawer because I need to add the DMC to that. And then I got a few patterns. So Doreen Jones was having a sale over the Easter long weekend. And I've sort of fallen in love with her patterns because of Anna from DM's Crafty Vortex. She stitched a few of hers, including this first one that I'm going to show you, and I just love her style. So I got Cat on a Pumpkin Pile. Love that. This is the first blooms. So it says, the first blooms of spring always make my heart sing. And I loved the bunnies, blowing it out like that. The bunnies and the flowers, and just the colour palette is lovely. This one is called Butterflies in Flowers. It's a purple emperor and large blue, yeah. So this is a full coverage. I like the sort of stained glassy effects behind as well. Reminds me of those lamps that you can buy, which I can't remember what they're called now. It's like got that sort of effect. My mum used to have some. My auntie loved them as well. And the last one I got from her was called Beach Huts. And this says, sandy toes, salty kisses, lazy days and summer wishes. And I have to say, I'm not a particularly big fan of the beach, but it just screams summer, and I love those little beach huts. So yeah, got that. It's not a purchase. Put that to one side. I think those were the only bits of haul. Yeah, because this is a shop update now. I'll just put that to one side as well. So yeah, I didn't actually buy that much over the last couple of weeks. Okay, so last things I've got to show you are just a few patterns that have gone up in the shop recently. So the first one, this is called Lion Eye, and this is artwork by Louise McNaught. This is no backgrounds, and I should really add that to here. So the frame and the background that you can see aren't part of the picture, but it's just so realistic looking. Her artwork is amazing. So yeah, that's up in the shop now, and I do have more eyes to chart. And then I have a couple more by Morgana Fantasy AI. So one is Little Cinderella. This is up in the shop now. I love the little pumpkin that she's holding. The fact that that's a different colour palette to what you normally expect. It's beautiful. And then something a little bit different from her. This is Pink Cottage. There's a real Hansel and Gretel vibe about it. I love it. So yeah, those are up in the shop now as well. So I think that is everything. Bit of a life update. We just had. I just went back to work today from. We had 2 weeks off for Easter. We had a lovely Easter holiday. We did quite a few things as a family. Not necessarily big days out or whatever, but we went to the zoo. We went to the park. We did some baking. We went to the library and did like Easter crafts. We did an Easter egg hunt on Easter Sunday, which she really enjoyed. And I also took her to the theatre for the first time. So we went to see Room on the Broom, which is, for those of you that don't know, a great children's book by Julia Donaldson. And she had read it a few times before we went. And then we also watched the BBC adaptation, which if you haven't seen that is just charming, as well as Snail on the Well, by the way. But yeah, so she went with a friend of hers, and we went and watched it together, and she loved it. It's all she can talk about now. It's just lovely to hear. So we've got another theatre trip booked in June, and we're going to see something called Zog, which is based on another children's book. Again, I think by Julia Donaldson, but I'm not 100% about that. But yeah, she really loved it. So that gives me good vibes for maybe taking her to the pantomime in at Christmas this year. Going to the pantomime was something that my sister and I did with my mum every year for years and absolutely loved it. And my mum still tells stories of, you know, my sister and I coming home and like acting out and things like that when we got home. So it's a little bit embarrassing now, but yeah, she loves singing and dancing and stuff like that. So I just think it'll be magical. But it's Room on the Bream was like a 50-minute performance, which is a nice like time for her at this age, whereas a pantomime is slightly longer than that, isn't it? So I mean, it's not going to be much longer because it is still aimed at kids, but yeah, I'll see how it goes. But you know, yeah, she really enjoyed that, which was lovely. Yeah, and back to work this week. The weather has definitely turned, so we are getting some rain and some chillier sort of evenings, but we've had some really sunny weather as well, which has been really lovely. So yeah, I think that's everything. And what I'll do now is I'll edit this video and then remember something in an hour's time and write it down for the next Flosstube video. Anyway, yeah, that's everything. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Barbara. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys in the comments down below. I love chatting to you. You gave me some really good advice on the duck pattern last time, so thank you very much. I also put a thing on my community tab about this particular stand that I was looking at buying, and I put it on my Instagram stories as well, and I had great feedback from that. So yeah, it's just lovely chatting to you guys basically. But I'm going to go because the sun has well and truly gone down, and I would like to edit this video and then go and do some stitching basically. So I want to say have a good couple of weeks to everybody. Happy stitching, and I will see you soon. Bye.